Hello and welcome to the Life Doula Podcast. I'm your host, Charity Marohombsar, and I'm thrilled to have you join us today. As a passionate advocate for an integrative approach to healing cancer, this podcast is dedicated to introducing various supportive modalities that can play a crucial role in the journey towards wellness. Today's episode is entitled Beyond Medicine, Reiki's Impact on Cancer Recovery. We'll be delving into the world of Reiki, exploring how this ancient healing practice can offer profound benefits to cancer patients. So sit back, relax, get your coffee or tea. Let's embark on this enlightening journey together. Today, we are blessed to have with us a very seasoned Reiki practitioner who is a man of many talents, but his passion is in helping people through the practice of both distant and in-person Reiki. Thank you for joining us today, my dear friend Mon Cordero. Hi, good afternoon, Mon.
Hi, good afternoon, Charity.
Mon is part of our main facilitators here at Better Days Wellbeing Center, Reiki being his domain of expertise. What drew you to this practice and what keeps you passionate about it?
Well, what drew me to this practice is I've always been fascinated in how to manage your energy, to be more positive, coming from a standpoint of a lot of negative energies from before, from past life experiences. It was a friend of ours that actually introduced me to Reiki healing. So that was more than 15 years ago. And then when I started Reiki, I heard about it. A good friend is actually offering classes. We joined, actually, me and my former mentor. My late mentor joined, and that started the journey. My late mentor told me, "This is for you." And I said, yeah, I feel it is. I really connect with it very well. The journey of Reiki comes from a Japanese healing modality, which is rediscovered by Dr. Makao Usui in the mid-1800s. So Dr. Makao Usui is a medical doctor. At that time, Japan was suffering from a lot of bad experiences because there were a lot of natural disasters that have happened. So Dr. Usui went to meditate. He was also not only a medical doctor or medical practitioner, he was also a martial artist, actually. So coming from martial arts background, I saw the relevance of it. I heard once from a certain movie that said, before you can learn to master your art or a martial art, first learn how to heal. So that got me more, wow, I want to learn that.
Wow, that's new.
Yeah, this was back in the 90s, I think. So, and then from then on, my late mentor told me, why don't you pursue this practice? Asked me, actually, why don't you pursue this practice? I go, I really would love to. So actually, in Reiki, there are several stages, and there are several. Once you take a class, and the way I was taught, because it's all over the internet, and my lineage is directly coming from Dr. Usui. So, in our level of for lack of a better term, hierarchy in learning, there are only 3 levels. So that level 1 is self-healing. So then level 2 is healing with symbols. And level 3 is sharing Reiki, basically, when you start to teach others. Because when you decide to go towards level 3, you decide to become a Reiki teacher. It's a commitment to share it. So when usually it takes 21 days for you to be able, after your first level, it takes 21 days for you to be able to get to the next level. I took my time. So it took me at least 2 years per level. Not because it was self-imposed. It's just that I wanted to really immerse in it and practice it very well to a point that my teacher was already saying, "Hey, it's been 2 years. You need to move forward. You can move to the next level." So I got my certification um, for Reiki Master over 10 years ago. So I've been teaching Reiki since then. So it's a great journey. Actually, it's a great journey, and I love sharing it with others. And like what you said, it is my passion.
I took Reiki, and for some reason, I think I need to retake it because I've taken it during the pandemic, and it's different because I've seen you do in person. But my first experience of Reiki was during the time that I was undergoing cancer treatment. And it was distant Reiki healing. Right. And ironically, but now that you have given the history, I wouldn't say it's ironic because the one who reignited it is a medical doctor. My very first Reiki healer is also a medical doctor, and she was doing distant healing. And this was the most peaceful sleep I ever got while undergoing chemo while she was doing distant Reiki healing. And I remember distinctly she said, let's synchronize our time. We will start at exactly 9:30 in the evening, and I was still doing chemotherapy at that time. There was a drip, and I know I can't sleep while chemo is ongoing, but I think in less than 5 minutes tops, I was out. I slept through the whole night, and what was amazing for me, Mon, was I didn't know her. She doesn't know me. She was able to pick up so accurately all my blockages and my imbalances in my energy. And I don't know how it was done. So since then, I got very interested in Reiki. Can you just give us a brief description of how it works as a healing modality?
Let me start off by quoting Albert Einstein. Okay, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only be transformed. So Reiki is actually a Japanese term. It's two words. It's Rei and Ki. Rei meaning spirit, God, loosely translated, and Ki is energy.
So it's God energy.
God's energy, yes. I am not the healer. Any Reiki practitioner would know this, that you are not the healer. You are merely a conduit of healing. So the healing passes through you. So that being said, energy, everything is energy. So when energy is imbalanced, it causes problems. You become diseased. So henceforth, the last manifestation of an issue is physical. So if it has manifested physically, it has been there for a long time. It was not addressed. So what Reiki does is it balances our energy through our energy centers, the common known energy centers coming from a Hindu practice or a Hindu word is the chakras. Yes. Yeah. So the common energy centers are your crown, your third eye, your throat, your heart, your power or solar plexus, your sacral, and the base or root chakra. So these chakras are connected to our physical organs. So whenever they're imbalanced, and what causes them is actually stress. Yes. Because it's an imbalance. So once it's imbalanced, it imbalances our physical organs. So it's good if you have a Reiki healing session because it balances all these centers. Apart from fine-tuning by the Reiki practitioner or healer, certain areas that needs healing. And it's not so much, how do you call it? It's not too cerebral. The fact that you said that your friend doesn't know you that well or doesn't know what you're going through, but you just asked your doctor friend, healing practitioner, Reiki practitioner, and she was able to target the things or the issues that needs to be addressed.
It's very intuitive.
Very intuitive. Very, very intuitive. In fact, it's better if I were to judge, for lack of a better term, which you're not supposed to actually, just for the sake of example, if I were to assess my healing experiences, the ones that I felt that were very, very significant were from those people that I didn't know anything about. Because it's clear, you don't have any biases. Because sometimes if it's a friend, you know what the friend's going through.
Yeah.
So you may have your own interpretation of what should happen.
Yes.
So
Your own agenda.
your own agenda, exactly. That's one of the challenges as a healer and as a practitioner of Reiki, because you have a certain quote-unquote goal because you know of this. Because Reiki is intelligent energy. It will go where it needs to go.
Yeah.
You don't have to direct it.
I really believe so, because I specifically called the one who recommended my Reiki healer and asked her, did you share anything to my Reiki healer? And she said, we barely just met, which is true, because she's also a doctor. So she didn't know what were my issues, where my imbalances were coming from. So, that's how intuitive it is. So Reiki is God's energy. Okay. Clarifying that the healer are mere conduits.
Yes.
And this is no different from doctors.
Yes.
Medical doctors are also vessels of
Channels of
healing
healing.
or channels of healing. Everything comes from
The
God.
Creator.
Yeah. Mon, Reiki and cancer care. How can cancer patients benefit from Reiki? And I know that you have had healing sessions here at the center, and I have experienced you healing people from as short as 15 minutes to hours, right? In that room. Can you also share personal experiences or stories from your practice?
Right. Cancer kasi is, again, energy, right? So, especially, and when we talk about energy, also physical energy. When someone goes through brachy or chemotherapy, it really depletes the energy of the person. Okay. So one client who was in her elderly years, who discovered that she had cancer. Yung daughter niya called me and said, "Can you do Reiki on my mom? Kasi she's gonna undergo chemotherapy and brachytherapy." So, sure. Pandemic, and this is over the pandemic. So distance healing. So I told her, what I'm picking up to tell you is that we should do the sessions before and after her therapy.
Makes sense.
Right. Kasi bago siya pumasok ng therapy, she's already full of energy. Recharged siya. So whatever is depleted because of the therapy
Can be
replenished. After, we do it again to replenish the energy that was lost. That was expended. And like what you said nga, diba, you fell asleep. Kasi Reiki, like a lot of healing modalities, is in alpha state. So deep sleep. Even a medical doctor will tell you, oy, kailangan mo matulog kasi kailangan mong makabawi yung katawan mo.
Regenerate healthy cells.
Yeah. Correct. So that's what Reiki does, actually. It brings your body, your physical body, to a balance, to an alpha state while you're doing the Reiki session. So pagka may Reiki session, I always tell the patient, pag makatulog ka, don't fight it. Let it be. More often than not, hindi nila alam. Nag-uumpisa pa lang kami, naghihilik na.
Yeah.
So this woman, pagbalik niya sa akin the second time, she goes to me, alam mo, sabi ng doktor ko, tuloy daw natin yung ginagawa natin kasi ang bilis kong makabawi. So when we did the session until 2 weeks after her therapy, and she's okay now. And the doctor said, ang bilis ng recovery niya.
And I just want to pick up on that, which means that really it's complementary and not contrary.
No.
So while you are doing your Western therapies, radiation, chemotherapy, you can do Reiki.
Definitely.
And that's how I did it. I knew that at the height of my chemo, on the first day, I will not be able to sleep because my body temperature just changes every minute. And I would get distance healing.
Right.
And that's when my body really becomes very relaxed. So when you normally feel so spent after chemo, you actually feel very recharged. So again, Reiki is complementary. Some people might be concerned about the potential conflicts, right? And that's why we're clarifying that you can do this alongside with your Western medicine, right? Mon, scientific backing and acceptance. Are there any scientific studies, although you mentioned already from the origin itself, or medical endorsements supporting the benefits of Reiki, specifically in the context of cancer care?
Medical endorsements, I have no documentation of it. Only people that have healed, who, or I've done healing sessions. Let me correct that. I've done healing sessions with that have very positive results. A lot of them, they have gone into remission. So, not just because of Reiki. Okay, let me clarify that. Because there might be some people who would think, hindi mo na kailangan magpagamot sa doktor. Magpa-Reiki ka lang. No, no, no. I'm sorry, we are not substitutes for medical help. Intervention. We are complementary, like what you said. We are complementary to it because we help. Kumbaga, if a doctor's doing the conventional, the Western medical procedures, we are there to help make it work better, not to replace it. Never to replace
I think
it.
that's a very, very important point to make. That's why I am not an advocate for alternative medicine, especially in cancer care.
Right.
Because for good or for bad, the Western medicine, alongside with conventional or naturopath, still works together.
Definitely.
It should never be one or the other. It has to be integrative.
Integrative.
Let's talk about the process and the experience. What can a person living with cancer expect during a typical Reiki session? And I've seen different reactions from the people you heal at the center. How do you make them comfortable and reassured? Because again, people who do not know may not be comfortable about it.
Correct. Because if you're new to it and you have no experience of any kind of energy healing, you'll be like, "What's that?" Right? So, and sometimes what you fear, what you don't know.
Yeah.
So, because Reiki is very meditative, it's non-intrusive, not at all. Especially the way I teach it and I execute it, I practice it. I don't even I lead them first into meditation because it's very meditative. And when the person's lying down or even sitting down, I guide them slowly to the direction of balancing their energy. Like I said, they fall asleep. They really fall asleep. And they tell them, and I constantly reassure them through but while doing the meditation, that they are in a safe space. That there's no judgment, only peace, only love. Because I tell them that personally, I am not the healer. I am merely a channel of healing. I would like to reiterate that because there has been some misconceptions on that, thinking even for practitioners.
Yeah, I think that's a very safe disclaimer, that you are a mere channel of healing and it's not a be-all, end-all. It's a supportive modality. Emotional and mental benefits of Reiki. Beyond the physical, how does Reiki help with the emotional and mental state of patients or people living with cancer?
Because your energy is balanced, so all your energy centers are balanced, especially your heart chakra, which where the emotion sits. It balances that energy center. So you become more calm because first and foremost, Reiki is very calming. When I do my self-healing practice, which I try to do at least once a week, it kind of like resets everything. So that's when a person going through cancer or battling cancer for that matter, when they because mabigat yan eh. I mean, anyone
experience a lot of anxiety.
yes, fear.
Yeah.
It kind of like soothes you. It soothes you. Even sa third eye chakra, which is our thoughts, the anxiety where anxiety falls in. That's balanced as well. So what happens is, it's not like it's gone or it doesn't hit you. It hits you, but you're able to process it. You're able to let it go. Because you know that these thoughts can be changed. Because thoughts are energy. So once your energy is balanced, you can easily shift it. Once you're regularly taking Reiki or experiencing a Reiki session, especially when you're going through the therapy.
Yeah, I can attest to that, and that resonated with me because on my first Reiki session, there's just so much lightness of feeling. And that's despite the fact that I went through 8 hours of chemotherapy session, which can be very, very heavy. Mon, for those who are new to Reiki, what advice would you give someone considering their first session? What should they look for in a Reiki practitioner?
The first thing to look for, in my experience, is that when your practitioner or your healer, your Reiki healer, knows that the healing is really, again, as I reiterate, is that the healing is not coming from them. You kind of like, we all have our egos, but you kind of put it aside, because this is when a practitioner or a healer will be doing a session, your egos put aside, because it's not about you. It's about it's about God first and foremost, about the Creator. Secondly, it's about the person in front of you. As if it's the same with coaching.
Yeah.
It's never about the coach. It's about the coaching.
Yeah, true.
So I would look to that, because the biggest mistake that I've seen with practitioners is that it gets into their heads.
Yeah.
That saying na ang galing ko na.
Yeah.
And I've seen really good healers lose their connection because of it.
Yeah.
Sayang.
Yeah, and I think using the word healer loosely and not attributing it to the ultimate healer is also a red flag.
Right.
If you are meeting a healer or a Reiki practitioner for the first time.
Exactly.
And that's why I prefer
Reiki.
your term of how you call yourself as a Reiki practitioner and not as a healer, right? Because a lot of times it kind of just sets off everyone, right? This is my favorite question when it comes to Reiki, myths around Reiki. And that this was my misconception, that it will go against my spiritual beliefs as a Catholic. And when I met Mon, and he was introduced to me as a Reiki practitioner, the first thing that I saw was this medal Mon has on him, whether he bikes, does his sports, or now that he's in the podcast, or when he's doing his Reiki. The myth around Reiki is it's against the religion or the Catholic faith. What can you say about it?
Right. Because Reiki is a very pure form of energy healing modality. So therefore, ang common mistake is that, oh, ibang relihiyon yan. Of course, no, it's not. Reiki, first and foremost, even in my classes when I teach Reiki, I immediately say it's not a religion. It's not. It really is not a religion. Reiki is just a healing modality. It's just a way to channel the Creator's healing energy. So it doesn't go against the Catholic teachings. In fact, if I may quote any religious teaching, because it doesn't even preach about any religion. I mean, it's not, since I'm a Catholic, I'm coming from a Catholic standpoint. When I ask for, because it's intervention, okay? It's like praying for someone, you know. When I ask for intervention, of course, since I'm Catholic, my training is to be asking for the Creator's healing energy from God. Or if you're not Catholic, it can be how you would call the Creator. Right? So it's not part of any religion, not at all, not at all. It's just that, and like I said, it's not the healer that's doing the healing. Unfortunately, since it's so pure, there are certain practitioners who have other healing modalities that they have grown accustomed to, can easily put it inside their practice. Because it's so, kumbaga parang, if we're gonna relate it to coffee, black coffee siya. So pwede mo siyang lagyan ng flavor, pwede mo siyang lagyan ng iba-iba. So I tend to go towards the pure sense of it, of Reiki.
And I also have seen you really, before starting any Reiki session, do your own prayers, right? Because if you really bottom line it, it's an energy coming from God. Right. So regardless of your religion, you are still connecting to the main healer or to the only healer that we can attribute to, right? Long-term benefits. If you mentioned earlier that you yourself, you do your own balancing of your energies almost every week, if you can.
Yes.
Because all of us, we interface with so many people, so we pick up different energies. Right. So long-term benefits, would you advise people, whether they are sick or not, or even beyond treatment of cancer, that they continue to come into Reiki sessions?
Yes, I believe so. Because it's like a restart button. It's like a restart button. Kasi, di ba, when, even for a computer, or your cell phone, sometimes, hindi siya, how come it's malfunctioning, or it's not, this app's not working? So we need to restart it. Or you need to restart your whole phone, or your whole computer. Reboot. You need to reboot. So Reiki sessions, that's what it does to you. It reboots your whole system. And as I mentioned earlier, in the levels of Reiki, the first level is self-healing. So you can't give what you don't have. So you need to have it for yourself first.
Yeah, true. And one of the things that we try to practice in the center is every now and then, although we have to be more regular about it, is everyone who's interfacing with people living with cancer, in the center, the facilitator should always get together to get the tree set and reboot. And, to be very honest, when we don't have walk-ins on a weekend and all the facilitators are here, we would take that opportunity for Mon to do Reiki healing session with us. And of course, in 10-minute stops, you hear snoring here and there because it's been a long week. A lot of us are coaches. A lot of us interface with patients in whatever capacity, right? So Reiki can be a rescue dose, but hopefully not. Right. You're actually recommending that it's something that you incorporate in your healthy lifestyle.
Correct.
Is that a correct statement, Mon?
Correct. It's a lifestyle, basically. It is part of a healthy lifestyle. Because, yes, I believe in eating right. Definitely. Because body, mind, and spirit.
Yeah.
So, you're not, like I said, the last manifestation of an illness is physical. So, before you get to that point, may preventive ka na rin.
Yes.
Even if you're not suffering from any ailment, may preventive ka na. And again, what gets us into dis-ease is not so much what we put in here, but what we put in here and in here.
Yes. I agree. Totally agree. And I wouldn't discuss Mon's age, but I think one of the reasons why he looks young is the fact that he regularly practices this. And I really hope that our audience can reach out to Mon. Mon, how can they reach out to you if they want to book sessions? You can do it via Better Days, or how can they reach out to you directly?
They can also go to my Instagram site and my Facebook site, which is Shlama Wellness.
Ayun, paki-spell kasi parang mahirap yung...
Shlama kasi it's a Aramaic term for peace.
Oh.
So it's SHLAMA.
Okay. Madali namang hanapin kasi mahirap i-pronounce.
Correct.
And I think the profile picture is Mon on a meditative state, right? In gasho state, not in this outfit. This is very corporate-y. Thank you, Mon, for joining us. And Better Days Wellbeing Center, we are a non-medical facility, but we strongly believe that healing is really holistic, mind, body, and spirit. Thus, the Reiki, and we also have a Theta healer in Better Days. So again, Mon, thank you so much. And I hope our audience can reach out to you, not just for the people living with cancer, but also the family who are taking care. I think they also need it. Yes.
Because their energy gets depleted because of taking, for us love givers.
Yes. As we wrap up today's episode of Beyond Medicine, Reiki's impact on cancer recovery, I want to thank our wonderful guest, Mon, for sharing such insightful information and shedding light on the profound benefits of Reiki for cancer patients. And here are my key takeaways from our conversation. Number 1, holistic healing. Reiki offers complementary approach to cancer care that emphasizes the importance of balancing the mind, body, and spirit, providing a sense of peace and well-being. Pain and stress reduction. Our guest explained how Reiki can effectively reduce pain, stress, which are common challenges faced by cancer patients, thereby improving their overall quality of life. Empowerment through energy. Reiki empowers patients by aligning their physical and emotional energies, aiding in emotional release and fostering a sense of control over their healing journey. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful, please share it with your friends and family members who might benefit from this discussion. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast for more empowering conversations and follow us on Instagram and Facebook at lifedoula.ph for additional content. Until next time, stay strong, stay positive, and continue to seek beyond medicine.